promised, once in a week, I give you a brief review of the last pattern applications in a space of human brain. So let's get started. The first pattern application that I would like to show you is dedicated to creation of a neuromorphic chip. The structure of this chip repeats the processes that happens in the human brain thalamus, the part of the brain responsible for memorizing things, for learning things, and basically storing things in our memory. It's very interesting and fascinating subject matter. The whole idea that this chip is actually can be created opened a lot of doors in terms of applications in the different areas of technology. The second pattern application that I would like to show is actually dedicated to nanoparticle. This particular nanoparticle is actually function as a transport tool. It's modified heparin, and it has specific moieties that allow to capture different type of drugs, different type of metal ions. It can be even some specific isotopes. And the amazing thing about it, the specific nanoparticle is able to go through blood to brain barrier. And the thing is, this particular delivery, the transport, allow to deliver different type of elements. As I said, it can be isotopes, it can be different type of metal, it can be metal ions, and can be specific drugs. And they can be delivered with this particular nanoparticle to the brain. It helps. It can be used in different type of treatment solutions and for visualization of the brain. Very fascinating device created by applicant Jellica Light LLC. Hopefully I pronounce it in the right way. It's method and device for photobiomodulation. So this particular device uses infrared light. We know that infrared light is penetrates the body the deepest, and it's actually able to affect and activate immune system, and on the deepest level. So this particular device, it uses infrared, and it transfers, you wouldn't believe, but it transfers infrared to the brain via mouth. It's very interesting. The applicants believe, the inventors, they basically show us that actually this device is able to stimulate our brains, human brain, in a positive way. Basically, it is able to help fight, some diseases related to, mental or physical state of the human brain. Of course, mental, physical state, they're all related. Just in general, it influences human brain performance. Okay, the next part, pattern application is actually from Germany. Neural Train, company called Neural Train. Very interesting. So they show a computing system for treatment of a neural disorder. So this specific computer system is able to differentiate a specific, sensory and stimulate it. It stimulates specific parts of the brain that are responsible for specific sensory related activities. And as stated by the applicant, this particular system is able to fight and lots of diseases, disorders, brain-related diseases and disorders, including dementia, including depression, including PTSD. It's very interesting. So basically, it works only with a specific sensory part of the brain that's responsible for these sensory activities. Interesting. Okay. The next patent application is actually from India, and it's more traditional, I would say, in terms of algorithm they used, and in terms of the whole process being described. They use conventional neural network. This network is actually dedicated specifically to images. This network works only with images, determining parts, specific parts, determining specific regions in the images, and differentiating the patterns in images. So this particular work, this particular patent application, is dedicated to understanding and finding human brain related disorders via images, via MRI images. So this particular system and method basically will help you differentiate and find certain inclination and problem that sometimes human eyes are not able to catch, just because of gathering a lot of images, by gathering a lot of details from the image. And that's very fascinating subject matter. Okay, the next one and the last one that I would like to discuss and show to you. And this patent application is actually from United States, from Zender Laboratories. You're probably aware, right, that a lot of information we're getting very often depends on the context, right? And catching the context is actually a very complicated subject matter, because we're learning not just because of specific patterns, but the pattern in the context of the image means a lot for us as a human. And for it's still and as a big challenge to to teach computers to understand things in the right way. So be sensitive to the context. So those particular applicants, inventors, Oliver Zender and Rubin Kroll, they what they did, they came up with the algorithm that gathers information, like mental response of human on a different type of surrounding. So what they're going to do, they just gather tons of information. They use algorithm to gather, to understand, to learn. So create a sort of database that can be used for different type of applications, in the future. For now, what they do, they just gather tons of information related to how human brain is actually mentally responding to a different type of changing context. And I think it's very fascinating and the absolutely right thing to do, and wish them luck. And I will see you next week.